Welcome, everybody, and happy Father's Day. We thought we would do a video with the best father in the galaxy, possibly one father. But we have here the Vader tier list. So this is all the Vaders from the Decipher format. So that goes up to Lord Vader, and then the virtual formats. One thing that's interesting is sort of at the front end of this is there are way less Vaders than there were Lukes.
Yeah.
And I think it's because you don't need situational Vaders as much. You don't need like a Hoth one or a Dagobah one.
Right.
He's just good everywhere. And I think that the design of the original card is also just like way more OP to begin with. So I think that's why you see only like, I think there's 15 Lukes and we have like 9 Vaders here or something. So it's just like a better card. I guess maybe there's 10. One of them is kind of a gimmick. But we're going to go chronologically, and let's see our first Vader here. The most probably iconic image in the game.
Definitely.
This guy. I have him at A. You have him at B. I can see a case for both. We'll stick him at B because I think there are just better Vaders. But this card,
I mean, they could all be S tier, right? They could all be S. But no, I think the reason why I put him at B is because 6/6, you're always going to want that. Immune nutrition less than 5. But when you get beyond that, the only thing he does is add 1 to your Battle Destiny draws, which is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But what the other ones do is all better. Still, though, like I was making a deck recently, and I really wanted to run 3 Lord Vaders. I only own 2 Lord Vaders, and I was just like, throw Darth Vader in there. It's fine. He'll be fine. So yeah, you always have to have him. But I just think if we're comparing Vaders to Vaders.
Yeah, and just a note on the methodology a little bit. This is comparing, obviously later set cards are better from a power standpoint, but sort of how interesting is the game text? How innovative is the card? Is there more than just like one use case? Like this one, I think you can include in a number of decks. Works, whereas a bunch of the Lukes we talked about, like this is the Prophet Luke, this is the very specific use case Luke. This is just a versatile card, so I could see a case for either. We'll leave him in B just to have some diversity on our list. Next, we have the 2-player starter Vader. Surprise here, the crappiest Vader in the game, I think by far. Doesn't do anything interesting. There's no reason to run this card. I mean, they made him like a Destiny 5 or something. But there's just no reason to run this card.
He's a deploy 7, forfeit 5. Like, what? And power 4, ability 6. Like, the thing about him is he's not even, like, if you're playing 2-player game only, it's really hard to get 7 force to even deploy him. And he only deploys in the Death Star. He's the Vader that plays against you. He makes it hard for you to even play the game.
Yeah, there's no reason to include him over like a Stormtrooper, right? Like you're just better like having more versatile cards that aren't only going to the Death Star. So anyways, we don't want to spend too long on him. Next, we have what I would consider a bit of a gimmick, but this is a Vader. I think this is a D or C.
Yeah. I'm afraid so. I want to love this card. I loved it when I opened it in my first anthology for Christmas in 1997 or whatever. But yeah, I could be arguing to a C on it, but the thing about it is when you run this, you can't run an actual Darth Vader character. So I can't think of any deck, even a devoted space deck, that wouldn't rather have a splashed Vader or 2 running around the ground. And if you first look at this card, like, oh wow, it's like super powerful, becomes a power 12. That's like the Executor. But it's not, because it has no immunity to attrition. So it is a sitting duck. Unfortunately, this card is really bad.
Yeah. I mean, really, both of these could be lower than D. But like,
it's got a cool picture, though.
All right. The next one, this is probably the best and most interestingly designed character persona, I think, in the Decipher era. Like just the idea of him being able to use his force choke ability and kind of like having a weapon, basically having 2 weapons if you throw a lightsaber on it.
Yeah.
It's super interesting from a design standpoint. It's an awesome picture, great in foil, versatile, put him anywhere. This guy, Choke Vader, DVD lots, just is so good.
It's my favorite picture in the game. Yeah, he's so great. He's so great. His deploy is only 6, right? Which is a bargain for what he does for you. And I think that is what, like, that deploy to, like, the deploy is just right to make him an S for me. I'm always happy to play this card. I'm always glad to draw it. The choke is like, yeah, it's just a straight destiny draw, but you can get rid of a ton of annoying cards with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had like games or battles ruined because he chokes out the guy that was going to allow me to draw Destiny, and now I'm not,
Yep.
because they're lost immediately, right? And so
Yep. Immediately
they're not
lost.
participate in the battle, so then you might not draw Destiny, and then
Yeah.
everything just swings because of that. So he can just come in with a real beatdown. I don't really see any downsides of that
No,
card.
there's no downsides. Yeah, I guess you'd love it if it's immune nutrition less than 6 rather than 5, but can't get
Yeah.
everything. Another small thing to note about him is he can also choke undercover spies because it's any character present, not just one that's involved in the battle. So I've had this happen to me where I've deployed where I've had an undercover spy and then initiates the battle and then chokes the undercover spy. So after he wins the battle, he force trains me the next turn. So yes, this is good. This is really cool.
Okay, next we have Vader with lightsaber.
Uh-huh.
This is a great card, but I don't know if it's the Vader that, like, you should probably run DVD lots over Vader with lightsaber. I have him in an A. Where are you at, Steve?
I think that's right. I think it's an A. Part of me wants to put him in an S as well, but the thing is that he's not always the slam dunk Vader you're going to run. Sometimes you're going to want you want the immunity to attrition to make Vader a little more sticky to keep him on the table. So yes, in a deck that's not revolving around doing Vader stuff. So if you're not running Bring It Before Me or Hunt Down or one of those, you might splash, like in my TIE Fighter deck, I'm splashing this guy to like do some damage on the ground. But he's a splashable Vader.
Yeah. All right. Next, we're moving on to what I would consider underrated Vader. Lord Vader,
Yeah.
I think, doesn't get enough love just because of the 2 ultra rares in that set. I think all the attention's always on Emperor and Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight.
Right.
And Lord Vader's a very good card. And
he's great. Yeah.
Power 7 is so annoying. Like, it's just he comes in just like ready to beat down. You have a little bit of deploy bonuses there. So I think he's an A tier. He could be S, but it's just not as good.
What keeps him from being an S tier in my book is his deploy cost of 8, and the fact that I can only be reduced on Executors, Death Star 2, or Endor. There's been times when I've just not been able to scrap together the force to deploy him and initiate battle in the same turn for various reasons, and that's like a real bummer. You need to be able to deploy Vader and initiate battle within that turn, so that bumps him just slightly down to an A for me. Of course, with his lightsaber, he has a defense value of 8, and he's adding 1 each of his lightsaber weapon destiny draws. It's amazing. And being immune to uncontrollable fury. Uncontrollable fury is a very, very huge problem for dark side in this game, and putting him in the middle sets. So yeah, he's great, but the deploy cost thing holds him back for me.
Yeah. Okay, so that is our last Vader from the Decipher era. So we're moving into some virtual cards. He's only been virtualized 4 times, which I think is also a note that these cards are pretty good and well designed, and you don't need to have 10 different iterations of a virtualized version for him to be still good in a meta, despite being an iconic character, right? So we have the virtual Vader, which I think is the pilot Vader.
Yeah.
He's fine. I think he's a B. I'm realizing our C tier is empty here. We could even put him at a C.
I might put him in a C. Yeah, I mean, he's like the Luke Skywalker virtual. He's an OG virtual card back from 2002. But I remember I was really excited to see that virtual slip because at that point, I guess I was feeling like we needed to do something about the original Darth Vader, but you just don't want Vader piloting ships, and so I don't think he ever gets run in the open decks. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because we don't know open as well as retro. But yeah, I think there's always a better option for Vader.
Yeah, and it might seem strange for us to put the original Vader ahead of this one, but I think what he did in his time versus like what this card does in their time, I think that's the comparison there.
Yeah.
Next, we have what I think might be the best Vader, which is the Emperor's Enforcer. This card is just like built to battle, right? He's a S tier. I think he's S here. He's just built to like beat down, which is kind of a single Vader.
Well, yeah, you got this. First of all, his deploy cost is 6, which I like again, and then you can initiate battles for free. So that is really spectacular. Not just where he's at, but period. Place on the table. I guess
Well,
his fury is inspiring everyone.
For free, right? So I think it is where here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Yes, here. You're right. So yeah, still very good. Being able to cancel the game text of an opponent's character ability less than 4 is quite good. There's a ton of light side characters in both retro and open that are going to fit that bill and cancel that. And then being immune to Clash of Sabers or Sorry About the Mess. Sorry About the Mess is always a relevant card. Having somebody Sorry About the Mess you with a lightsaber is bad. So yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean the nice thing of canceling game text, right? Like with all the EPPs, EPP Han canceled. He doesn't have a blaster rifle anymore, right? That's one of the downsides of having that text embedded in the card is like you got a Forlom or Enforcer out there, like, hey, you don't have a weapon anymore.
Right.
So that's why he's S tier. I think
this was designed by Kevin Japp. I don't know if it's maybe pronounced Japp or Yap, but Kevin Yap. He is still an active player. He plays in both retro and open events. So yeah, good to see a card by him.
All right, and next we have the Anakin. I actually have never seen this card played very much. I don't know a ton of where to put him, to be honest.
I think he's a B, but I'm not 100% certain either. I mean, he obviously the thing that stands out about him is he has no mask on, but also he has no Imperial icon. He's a Sith icon, which I think it used to be called the Darth Maul icon. I think it's called the Sith icon now. Anyway, yeah, so because he is not a Imperial, that's going to limit what decks he's going to go into. But, hitting a character with a lightsaber that cancel their game text, that could be good. If it's going to cancel... Yeah, I don't really know what characters that... I'd have to think more about the meta of that, like what characters... Because if you hit him with a lightsaber, he's probably going to be forfeit 0, and so the immunity doesn't matter anymore to attrition. So I don't really know what you're going after with that. I guess you attack first, hit an EPP, cancel their game, but that's pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. He's between a B and an A, I guess, but I don't know well enough to say on that one.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I like a B though.
All right,
but designed by Dan Tartaglione, who is also an active player, who's in the current Retro League. That's
yeah,
cool.
Good dude. All right, next we have the upgraded Bad Vader.
Yeah.
He seems fine. I don't think there's anything about him that seems like this stands out as a spectacular card. But I'm willing to be convinced otherwise, Steve.
Yeah, no, I think B is right for him. If you look at his text, he's letting you, in certain circumstances, when he's alone and if your opponent just initiated a battle, upload lightsaber parry, physical choke, or Vader's anger. Right, none of those cards are. Those are lightsaber parry and Vader's anger are okay. Physical choke, I still don't think it's all that great. And the rest of it is just opponents non-generated characters are powered 4 for -1. So again,
pretty good, right? But
with like I guess like a lightsaber deck that's playing a lot of characters, maybe not mains and toys, but some kind of other. Then there's like a clones deck in open. I don't know. I just feel like you're gonna want one of the A's or S's.
Yeah,
Vader's Enforcer. I would run Vader's Enforcer.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know a reason to include this over Enforcer, right? I guess if you're thinking about a Swarm, I mean, he's got that nice little additional attrition with a Jedi, so he's attrition 7 with Jedi,
like
so that's kind of like counterbalance part of the text. But it could be A, could be B, but you got to put him somewhere. So I'm just going to show off our completed list here. So this is the best dad in the galaxy list of all the different Vader personas here with Decipher as well as virtual formats. I'd love to hear what people think of this list, what your favorite Vader is, the most iconic. I think the answer for everybody is probably the DVD Lots Vader.
Yeah.
I mean, it was also like when that card came out, I'm thinking, wow, this is like very good in the meta. Like it just was like the best card.
Yeah.
Best card, bro.
I also got it relatively quickly after Special Edition came out. I didn't get an original Darth Vader premierant for a long time. So this is I think it was my first real Vader persona that I ever got.
They're still like messing around with like R1s and R2s and Premiere, right? Which which is another detractor, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts here, Steve? On
No, this is fun. We should do one for Han or Leia. Those there's even more personas of Han and Leia because of how situational they can be. So that could take up some time.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, there's lots of characters. Chewie, Lando. Most Landos bad. But
I think we know which Lando would win. It's Lando Scoundrel, Screaming Lando.
Yeah, no, that's actually very true. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
thanks
fun.
for everybody. We'll be back with more of these. We just got to brainstorm what characters to do next. But this is a lot of fun, and we'll catch everybody next time.
Bye.